Yoki is someone who enjoys browsing social media every day, likes to follow popular trends, and has a fondness for expensive accessories. Yoki didn't just care what people thought. He was addicted to it. If he was with intellectuals, he'll pretend to like the current technological advancements. If he was with athletes, he'll pretend to be interested in their skills. He didn't have a personality. All he cares about is pleasing others. He curated his life like a museum exhibit. He would spend 20 minutes arranging a coffee cup on a table for an Instagram story, waiting for the likes to validate his existence. If a post underperformed, he felt physical pain, a hollow ache in his chest that whispered, "Do my friends not care about me?" When Yuki entered college, he arrived armed with limited edition sneakers, flashy accessories, and a constant fear. What will people think of me today? That was when he met Rio. Rio was short, dressed plainly. He wears outdated clothes and carries the same worn-out backpack every day. He ate alone in the cafeteria, reading comic books, completely unbothered by the pitying glances of the popular crowd. One day, Yuki asked him, "Don't you feel their eyes on you? Don't you care that they think you're weird?" Rio took a bite off his sandwich and said, "If I did, I'd be living their life, not mine." Yuki laughed nervously, dismissing it. But Rio wasn't done. "The most expensive thing you will ever own is a mask," Rio said, "because you pay for it with your soul every single day." In his sophomore year, Yuki enrolled in a required public speaking course. The final assignment was a 10-minute speech worth 40% of the grade. More importantly, the professor announced that representatives from several companies would attend. The best speakers could earn internship interviews on the spot. This was Yuki's chance. He spent weeks crafting slides that looked impressive, memorizing lines that sounded smart. But the night before his presentation, he scrolled through social media and saw classmates posting confidently about their speeches. Panic set in. What if I embarrass myself? What if they think I'm stupid? On stage, Yuki froze. His hands shook. His voice cracked. Halfway through, he forgot his lines and rushed to the end, avoiding eye contact. Polite applause followed, nothing more. Crushed, Yuki sat down just as Ryo walked to the podium. Ryo didn't have fancy slides. He spoke about failing his first year, about being laughed at for his height, about deciding one day that fear of judgment was heavier than failure itself. "I realized something," Ryo said calmly. "When I cared too much about what others thought, I stopped trying. And when I stopped trying, I failed anyway." The room went silent. When Ryo finished, the applause was real long, loud, undeniable. After class, a recruiter approached Ryo. Yuki watched from afar, his stomach sinking. That night, Yuki checked his bank account. Maxed out. He checked his posts. Likes fading. He checked himself and felt empty. The real twist hit him then. All his effort had gone into being accepted, not being capable. He wasn't afraid of failing. He was afraid of being seen failing. And that fear had already cost him more than failure ever could. A week after his humiliation at the speech competition, Yuki tried to force his confidence back. He was meeting a group of acquaintances at a high-end, glass-walled coffee shop downtown. He arrived 10 minutes early. The group wasn't there yet. Panic set in. To Yuki, standing alone wasn't just waiting. It was a public declaration of being unwanted. He felt the gaze of every patron in the shop. "They must think I've been stood up," he thought. To combat this, he activated his defense mechanism, the basic important guy. He put out his phone, furrowed his brow, and began aggressively typing a reply to an email that didn't exist. He nodded to himself, acting as if he were closing $1 million deal. He even let out a small, weary sigh, the sound of a man in high demand. He decided to change seats to a more visible spot near the window. To ensure everyone saw how busy he was, he stood up, phone in one hand, coffee in the other. Because he was watching his reflection instead of the world, he didn't see the knee-high clear acrylic display table right in his path. He pitched forward. The hot coffee launched out of his cup, creating a brown arc that splashed across his white shirt and onto the pristine floor. He was sprawled on the floor, wet, red-faced, and surrounded by the wreckage of his own vanity. A barista rushed over with napkins.
Sir, are you okay? That table is hard to see.
Yuki wanted to dissolve into the espresso machine. He mumbled an apology, trying to wipe the stain, which only smeared it into a giant brown bruise on his chest. Feeling extremely embarrassed, Yuki quickly paid and left the coffee shop. Yuki walked out, defeated. Yuki happened to run into Ryo, who had just finished shopping at a convenience store. "What happened to you?" Ryo asked. "I was just trying to look like I belonged," Yuki groaned, wringing out his shirt. "I was checking my reflection to make sure I didn't look stupid." Ryo didn't comfort him with false hope. Instead, he offered a sharp truth. He handed Yuki a dry napkin. "You tripped because you were walking in a simulation inside your head. The real world has obstacles. The imaginary world only has an audience. You can't live in both." The next day, Yuki did something unfamiliar. He stopped posting. He stopped buying. He started speaking, awkwardly, honestly, imperfectly. In class, he shared ideas without rehearsing how they'd be received. Some people disagreed. Some ignored him. The world didn't end. Weeks later, Yuki signed up for another speech, this time optional. His topic was simple: who are you without applause? His voice shook at first, then it steadied. "I spent years letting strangers decide my value," he said. "The moment I stopped caring what they thought, I finally had room to grow." The room listened. He finished, and the applause filled the entire room. But for the first time in his life, Yuki didn't look at the audience to see if he was enough. He looked at Ryo, who gave him a thumbs up, and then he looked inside himself. Ryo's final piece of wisdom stayed with him forever. Freedom isn't when they stop looking at you. Freedom is when you stop looking back to see if they noticed. And finally, Yuki was free. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to this channel and share it with others. Thank you for your time.